Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to give you an update on makeup items that I had recently purchased. And one skincare item as well. But I'll tell you, these are things that I picked up during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty. Some of them were sale items and some of them were just ones that kind of ended up in my basket just because I was already on their website or in store. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being subscribed. Let's go. I'm going to start first with, I don't even have it here on the table because it's in my bathroom, but it is the Peach and Lily Matcha Antioxidant Cream. I bought 2 jars of it. I'm halfway through the first jar that I had just opened right after I purchased it on day 2 of the sale. I love that so much. And it's definitely one that I have continued to repurchase. I'm a huge fan of the Peach and Lily line. I fell in love with their glass serum and then the matcha cream and then their glass skin veil mist, which is beautiful. I do have a lot of other Peach and Lily products, but those are the ones that I continue to repurchase, and that matcha cream is incredible. All right, let's talk about some makeup items I picked up during the sale. This one is kind of surprising. This is from Bakerie. This is their Flower Better Not Bitter. I have the shade Oat. It's translucent. There's a couple of things that I absolutely adore about this. One of this is that it has a sifter cover so that you don't have to worry about, if this is moving around in your makeup bag, that there's going to be powder all over the cap when you open it. It covers it until you're ready to uncover it, and then you can tip out exactly what you need. Mwah. The other thing that I noticed about this, although it doesn't do a complete number on my under eyes, I do have it on my under eyes today for setting. It's not too drying. I do have powders that I prefer under my eyes. 46 years old, I'm really careful about what I put under there. This isn't the end of the world. So on days that I'm being lazy and I don't want to pull out 2 or 3 powders and I just want to quickly set my face, this is great. I do find that since it is a more matte powder, it works really well to give me more longevity with whatever products I put down. I also have it on over cream bronzer and cream blush today to set all of those before I put on a powder highlight. It works beautifully that way. I feel like it's a really great addition to the powders I have in rotation. It's a nice loose powder, but recently, I don't know why, I've been kind of going more for pressed powders, but this one is really nice. Another product that I picked up during the sale was this. This is the Creamy Shape Tape from Tarte. This is one of those products that I'd been super curious about. This is what it looks like. I haven't worn original Shape Tape in a long time because when I first discovered this in my mid to late-ish 30s, it was kind of like everybody was talking about it. It was the one concealer everybody aspired to be. This is it right here, and Creamy's in the middle here. But I'll tell you this, between the two, original Shape Tape is too dry for my under eyes now at 46. This definitely does better. The one thing that I like that the Creamy does is when you start to blend it, you definitely can blend from full coverage up here to down here where I have it blended, and you almost can't tell where that line is, where it ends. That is one thing that the Creamy formula does so well. The original Shape Tape, as you start to blend it, I always feel like I can see exactly where it ends. And like right here, you can see that, okay, I'm gonna keep tapping. And I'm sure if you're a better blender than I am, sometimes I just don't have time. And I feel like the Creamy Shape Tape is a little bit more forgiving, so I don't see where that line of concealer ends down here or right here. Something else that's interesting is the claims for this is that it is crease proof. I don't think that it's crease proof. I do find that it settles into the fine lines here. It says it's not supposed to settle and it's not supposed to crease. Both of those things happen. And I definitely feel like you can only get so much coverage out of it. I have tried to build it up and then it starts to look a little heavy. It does say that it has a built-in eye cream. I definitely do feel like it is definitely more hydrating, like beyond more hydrating, like significantly more hydrating. And I do love the fact that it works really well for my skin. I definitely feel like it's not the same sort of all your sins are forgiven that I used to get from the original Shape Tape, but the Creamy version is definitely a cousin. It's not a twin with slightly better skin. It's related, but it's not quite the same. Some other products I picked up were these two eyeshadow palettes from Nabla, the Platinum and the Metropolitan. These were products that I had been curious about for a while. I kind of fell in love with cool toned shadows. This one has been a ton of fun to play with, but I've been spending kind of a lot of time in this one. This is the Metropolitan, and what's interesting is that I feel like some of these more kind of metallic-y shades, they're so much fun, but as you can see, they've got some serious glitter in them. I do find that I get a little bit of fallout that a glitter primer can totally take care of. These more metallic-y shades, like these guys right here, work the best when I put them over a glitter glue or a glitter eyeshadow primer. The same with the ones in here, but I don't find that I have, and maybe I'm not packing them on the same way, but my favorite shade just for sheer impact is this one here, because it reminds me of the Tin Man. Totally does. This is the one that I have been wearing, this one right here, just on its own as a one shadow look. It's so beautiful. I also have been using this kind of more chocolatey shade here as a one shadow look. I think these are so pretty. I do use these guys more than this one, but they just make absolutely beautiful shadows. I do like the rest of the palettes. I think it's perfect size-wise too. The formula is nice. I feel like the Metropolitan palette has just a touch more fallout than this one, but they have been fun to play with. This was one of those things that I picked up during the sale that I didn't know whether it was going to be like the best thing ever or just kind of, it's good. It's a great product. This is the Sara Happ lip scrub. I have the one in brown sugar. It smells amazing. And I have used it. I just don't use it all the time. And I don't know whether that's because I do most of my lip exfoliation in the shower in the morning. And on the days that, okay, so if my lips are wet, then, you know, in the shower for a while, I'll just rub my finger lightly over my lips and that top layer of skin will just slough right off. And that's kind of how I handle lip exfoliation. Something like this is great where if I am busy enough or I forget to put on a lip product and I'm not wearing any makeup, because remember if I'm wearing makeup, I've got a lip product on. And that'll keep me hydrated. But on the days that it's a no makeup day and I'm running around in and out of a mask, in and out of a mask, my lips lose a lot of moisture when I'm in a mask. I don't know what it is, maybe rubbing against the fabric or the paper mask, whatever it is, my lips are angry. And then if I want to put a lip product over the top, I always find it's better if I use this to exfoliate my lips, get as much of the dry skin off, and then put a balm on. There are enough oils in here that it does hydrate, but I don't use this as much as I thought I would. I think that's mainly just because I've been really good about keeping my lips hydrated and I regularly exfoliate my lips one time a day in the shower. But is this a great product? Absolutely. Do I use this as much as I thought I would? Kind of not really. Another item I picked up during the sale at half off was my beloved Lancome Cils Booster. This is my favorite mascara primer. I have used this for decades. I love it so much. I recently finished one up and opened up the one I got during this sale. I think it's so good, but I try really hard never to buy it at the $27 price. I always try and get it when it's on sale or if it's bundled together in a set because really, it's rather expensive. It's a good primer, but I would never pay $27 for it. I did also pick up this Persona 24-hour waterproof eye pencil. It's just in brown. This is a fabulous liner. Super creamy, very gel-like. It just glides. And I have never had any problems sharpening it. I feel like this is a really great formula. I've been able to get like, you know, really thick lines, a little bit thinner lines. And I feel like if I were to be a little bit more light-handed, I might be able to get, you know, even thinner lines if possible. I'm a little ham-fisted when it comes to liner, but I have been reaching for this a lot. And I feel like it stays put really well, not in my waterline. My goal was to find something I could place in my upper waterline that when I blinked wouldn't transfer to my lower waterline. I want to keep it just to the upper. It doesn't work for that, but it does work beautifully to line my lashes and to really kind of shove it in between the lashes to really give that look of fuller lashes without actually having to put it in the waterline. I feel like this is a really great pencil for that, and it It's beautiful. It wears really, really well. There were some other things that I happened to drop into my basket or my cart online just because I was already shopping the sale. One of the things that I have used a ton and I didn't think I was going to is this mascara. It's just the regular L'Oreal Voluminous, but this is the shade Burgundy. It's what I have on today. I have been using this so much. I really think the formula is nice, but more than anything, I like that it's a color. Now, since we're still 6 feet apart, are you really gonna be able to tell? No, but I know it's a colored mascara, and I know that's kind of silly, but it really has been something I have been enjoying and I have been reaching for a lot. I picked up this liner as well. This is the Infallible Pro Last Longwear eye pencil. This one is not as creamy. I mean, you get a pretty good line from it. This is in the shade Burgundy, but it doesn't go anywhere. It's very, very budge proof. I wish it was a little bit better. Like, I feel like with the one from Persona, I can draw it where I want it and then keep perfecting the line. This one, I get like 1 or 2 passes, and if I want to keep perfecting, it's the one I'm wearing today, it starts to stick to itself because it dries. And once it dries, it doesn't go anywhere. So you want to make sure you get it exactly where you need it. But it doesn't have the same ease and glide that the one from Persona does. I think this is a good option for a drugstore product. But I did a lot of, you know, finessing and finagling because I wanted to get kind of a winged look out of this. And it was a little bit harder than I needed it to be for my eye look today. I feel like it actually does a pretty good job. I couldn't help myself. I have been so into cream blush, and I forgot this is one of the ones that I love so much. This is the Super Shock from Colourpop. I have been so much on the Colourpop, I don't know, where I just haven't been impressed by a lot of stuff they've been putting out recently, but I forgot that they have some huge hits with their early products. I love their lippy sticks. I love their Super Shock highlights and their eyeshadows, and their blushes are amazing. This is in the shade Count Me In. What I like about this, I have so many cream blushes that if you put it over a set face, like you set your face with powder and then you put a cream blush on top, it totally like eats through, and you will have cream blush here but no coverage. Like whatever coverage you had on for your base and your powder is gone. It just kind of makes a bit of a mess. This goes beautifully over a set face, looks fantastic over cream products that are unset. It works really well both ways. And this kind of dries to kind of like a powdery finish, so it doesn't give you quite that same glowy, dewy look, but add a Super Shock highlight over the top and you've got some magic going on. This has been fun. I have been reaching for it a lot. Another thing that I picked up that I'd forgotten how good it was, where have I been? It's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This is such a good concealer. I have the shade 100 Ivory. Here's what's interesting. It's been several years since I've had one of these, and I will tell you, they did not have shade 100. It's right here. They did not have shade 100 last time I was using this. The lightest shade they had was 110, which is a little bit more pink. It definitely looked pink under the eyes, and it wasn't good for my skin tone. This is really good, and this blends so nicely. It doesn't actually feel too heavy on the eye. It doesn't make my under eye look dry. It does beautiful things for my under eye, and I like the fact that I can kind of blend it from concealer to bare skin and you don't see a really harsh line. The last thing that I purchased during that time were these guys here. These are Juvia's Place lip liner, lipstick, and gloss. I have been reaching for this lip liner a lot. This is in the shade Luxe. It's kind of like a mauve plum tone. I really like this shade. I am wearing all of these lip products today. I have been loving this, but the one thing that I've been reaching for a ton is the matte lipstick in the shade Kebi. I originally got a different shade, and although I had some really great feedback from the Juvia's Place video, if you want to see that video, I will link it for you here, but I just realized that was not a shade I was gonna feel confident wearing regularly, and it would just sit in my collection, and I wanted to get something that I would wear. So I got this shade right here. This is Kebi. I love it so much. I've been wearing it a lot. I think what I like the most about this is when I put it on, it stays where I put it. It doesn't, you know, trail out in the fine lines around my lips. it doesn't end up making my lips, even though it is a matte lipstick, look so dry that it looks kind of like a dried raisin. You know, where you see nothing but lines. That happens. The older I get, the more of those lines I see, especially when I'm wearing a matte lipstick. So, and the other thing that's great about this is it reapplies beautifully, because when I'm eating or I'm drinking through a straw, you know, drinking from a coffee mug, I do find that I get a little bit of wear right in the center, and this goes beautifully right over the top. And it does have a soft, it's not moisturizing, but it's not drying. And if you're looking for a lipstick that's going to be not drying, I think these are really nice. Out of all the lip products that I got from Juvia's Place, the gloss is the one that I use the least. And I'm not saying that I don't use it, but it's the one that I use the least. This is the shade Cis. It's definitely more of a toasty, warm shade. It's really nice and glossy. I do like that about it, but the one thing I will tell you is it is much more emollient than I expected it to be. And if I get it too close to the edge of where I'm wearing, if I'm wearing the liner and then this over the top, or the liner, the lipstick, and this over the top like I am today, I find that sometimes it can go outside of my lip line. So the liner and the lipstick do really well. The minute you put this gloss on top, it's kind of like all bets are off for things staying exactly where you put them. So I try, and it's kind of gone everywhere today, but I try and put just like a dollop right in the middle, and then just kind of tap it out and not get too close to my lip line, so that it can look like a slightly more hydrated, not super glowy, super glossy, but a slightly more hydrated, comfortable version of these lip products. I do feel like these are the stars of the show. I have worn this a lot on no makeup days where I'm just a little gloss and we're good, but this isn't my favorite gloss. There are other gloss formulas that I prefer over this. Is it bad? No. Does it collect in the corners like my Cardinal Sin? No, it doesn't. But I definitely feel, and I don't know whether it's the shade or the formula, it's just okay. But I feel like if you're gonna invest in a Juvia's Place lip product, these are the two that kind of impressed me the most. Last update for a product that I purchased recently. I did not get at Ulta. I did not get during their sale, but it's this right here. It's the Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream. I have the shade number 23. I'm gonna start swatching on the other side because I'm out of space over here. It is darker than my skin tone, and it is one of those products that as you blend it in, you definitely do get some, it adjusts a little bit. So I have it going across the top of my hand this way, but you can definitely still see, you know, this is what it looks like full power, and then blended on over here, it's not the same color as my skin. The way I've been counteracting that has been taking a color this is like my perfect shade, like this is exactly this tone of my skin. This is shade 1N0 from Estee Lauder, and I will put like a half a pump of this in with this, mix it up. So if you notice the difference, right here is where it is unmixed, and then right here is where it is mixed, and then this is my skin tone right here. I feel like mixing it gives it looks better, and I don't have to take it so far down my neck that I'm gonna be likely to get it on my clothing. I also feel like that little extra drop of maybe a Longwear formula, I have been mixing it with this. I've also been mixing it, today I have the Airbrush Flawless foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. These are much longer wear foundations, but when you mix them with this BB cream, I get that more skin-like, it thins out the heaviness of the other. I get more of that dewy from the Misha. But the great thing is I get a little bit more longevity from the higher coverage foundations, and I feel like it's a great way to use products that normally would just sit around. I love this product, but I don't reach for it all the time. This one has kind of just been sitting in my drawer. I feel like this plays really well with some of my other fuller coverage foundations that I don't like the look of on my skin now that it's a little bit older, because they're just too heavy, too cakey, too dry, even when I use a minimal amount. But mixing them with this helps the color, because the color is not perfect for me, but it also gives me just a little bit more longevity, because these guys definitely have more longevity to them, but this makes it more skin-like, and it looks really, I feel like it looks pretty. It's just enough coverage, not too much. It's a little bit more skin-like, and it's a great trade-off. This has been like perfect for mixing. I like it a lot. The one thing I will tell you is I did wear this once on an unset face with cream products, and it looked gorgeous until I put a mask on. And then when I put a mask on, it rubbed off like all the places that the mask was touching me, here, here, and then, you know, where the ear loops go. So set this if you have to wear a mask, or maybe, you know, it's for days that you're home, maybe a more casual day where you're not going to be in a mask all day. But I love the way it feels on my skin, and I love the way it plays well with other foundations. Thanks so much for watching today. I think that there's a lot of really good products here, and I know that there are some products that, like this one, really surprised me. You can already see how much of this I have been using. I love that. I didn't expect to love these as much as I do, or reach for them as much. Forgotten product that I'm glad I have again in my collection. Forever favorite, like the face cream. And then ones that have been bringing me a lot of joy just because it's slightly different. And then there are some products that I feel like this one is a great product, but I'm just not inspired to reach for it because I have other concealers I like better. And I don't know that after reading all the claims, it does all of those things for me. But if there's anything here that I'm talking about that you've had a different experience with, or that you should try it this way, let me know if you have any tips and tricks for any of these in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being subscribed. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you again soon. Bye.